Ready? All right. I call to order the Town of Angier Town Commission meeting for May the 2nd. And ask you all, you're already all standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance and followed by the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, Lord, here we are. Gosh, compared to some situations that have been dealing with war and weather and all sorts of difficulties, we're in good shape, Lord. You know, we thank you. Thank you so much for the town of Angier, for the people who live here. Thank you for the privilege of exercising our liberty and meeting to decide our fates. Amen.
Mr. Mayor, may I speak for just a moment?
Yes.
Before you begin that, and I'm sorry I didn't get to you before we had our prayer right there. I would just like to acknowledge the passing of our former mayor's wife, Jack Morley, Miss Nancy Morley, passed several days ago, and she will be greatly missed. Made a huge impact on this town, but extend our sympathies to the Morley family.
Why don't we stand and have a moment of remembrance? Lord, we ask that you receive Ms. Marley. We thank you for her and for her family that has meant so much to this town. Amen. Thank you, Alan, for pointing that out. I appreciate that. Is there any change in the agenda, or is it can it be approved as written?
I make a motion that we approve as written.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. And that's unanimous. All right. We're set up. First thing is a presentation. This proclamation, you know, our clerk just does an excellent job of assisting us with proclamations and other matters. So thank you, Ms. Hardway. Proclamation, National Day of Prayer. Whereas through history, Americans have lifted up fervent prayers to God on behalf of our nation. From the first gatherings of our founding fathers, elected officials have prayed and entreated those they serve and represent to join them in prayer, including the authors of our Declaration of Independence, who wrote that they, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world, and carried on to the present day in presidential proclamations such as last year's invitation to join him in asking for God's continued guidance, mercy, and protection. And whereas the National Day of Prayer has not only been a part of our heritage since it was declared by the First Continental Congress in 1775. Did y'all realize that? But it is a public law established in the United States Congress in 1952 and approved by a joint resolution and amended by Congress and President Reagan with Public Law 100-307 in 1988, affirming that it is essential for us as a nation to pray and directing the President of the United States to set aside and proclaim the first Thursday of May annually as a National Day of Prayer. Further, whereas in our state and across America, the observance of the National Day of Prayer will be held on Thursday, May the 4th, 2023, with the theme of Pray Fervently in Righteousness and Avail Much, based on the verses in James 5:16b. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. And whereas every first Thursday of May on the National Day of Prayer, we not only express our faith and exercise our freedom in prayer, but unite our hearts and voices in personal prayer and public gatherings throughout our city and across our America, with fervent praise, repentance, love, and humble intercession for our neighbors and nation, holding fast to the promises throughout the Holy Scriptures that the Lord fears and avails much as he answers the faith-filled prayers of his people. Now, therefore, I, Robert K. Smith, Mayor of the Town of Angier, do hereby proclaim May the 4th, 2023, as a day of prayer throughout the town of Angier, and I commend this observance to all our citizens. Okay, thank you. All right, we now have time for public comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes each, on a first come, first served basis. The topics must be related to the town of Angier only, and they should not. Speakers should not expect board action or deliberation on the subject matter brought up during the comment segment. The persons who speak must provide the town clerk with copies of any handouts that they wish to present. Okay, the first person who has signed up is Howard Babbitt. And what is your address for the record, please?
Howard Babbitt, 56 East William Street, Angier, North Carolina.
Good enough. What you got, Howard?
I'm here on behalf of the ABC board, which, it's hard enough to.
Take it off.
No, I don't. Do I need to repeat the address again, or?
No, you're fine.
So I'm here on behalf of the ABC board. Chairman Hawley was unable to make it. Our last meeting, we voted unanimously to ask the state to investigate allegations and some newspaper article that affects the ABC board. So we've asked the state to investigate, and we've asked them also to fully disclose to you guys, once the report is done, all the information that is obtained from the investigation. They're going to investigate our policies, procedures, and all the allegations that were written in the newspaper. So we just wanted to come here and let you guys know that this is being taken care of.
Okay.
So that was it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bob Jushnis. And Bob, if you'll give us your address for the record, please.
574 North Broad Street East.
Thank you.
6 weeks ago, I filed a complaint with this Board of Commissioners regarding a threat I received from an appointed official in our town. During an aggressive outburst that happened in this very room during a public meeting, an hour after he was introduced by the mayor as head of the ABC board and presented a check to government representatives in his official capacity. My complaint was delivered to the town attorney with the instruction that it be shared with the board. I shared it publicly on Facebook, and it was shared widely. The Daily Record even picked up the story and ran it on their front page. So there's been more than enough time for folks to have read it. To this day, I'm not aware that this board has taken any action on the matter. On my end, at least, I've received no official response. As a resident of this town, I've always felt safe and secure, and I've been an engaged citizen, but this incident has shaken my belief in this town's commitment to self-governance. It is deeply concerning that the Board of Commissioners has not taken my complaint seriously and has not acted upon it in a timely manner. I'm worried that this board may either ignore the issue of conduct unbecoming of the office and bringing the town into disrepute, or worse, try to scapegoat my wife, who's completely uninvolved in this incident. Either of these responses would be unacceptable and would go against the principles of justice and fairness that we hold dear as a town. That kind of response would only validate the growing concern that many in this community have about the integrity of this board. I ask you once again, please take this complaint seriously. Uphold your responsibility to ensure the safety and free speech of all residents in this town. Please act without further delay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. As I indicated, we receive your comment. Thank you. All right. So we have the minutes on the consent agenda, and we've already approved the agenda, but let's approve the consent agenda.
I'll go ahead and approve this consent agenda as written.
Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, so let it be. All right, new business. Let's move on. New business, additional receptacles on depot grounds.
Good evening. How are y'all? Hey. Good to see you. The agenda that's in front of you for the additional receptacles on the depot ground was graciously offered to be paid for by our Andrew Chamber of Commerce, and it will benefit everyone who uses the depot grounds for my events as well as for the Chamber's events. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, so you have pretty much everything covered with electricity now.
Yes, sir. Both sides.
Good.
Casey, one question for you. And I know this is for the addition to add electricity to the back side of the depot, correct?
Correct. On the where the bushes are.
Great. And is this also with this repairing any other receptacles that are not working and that are damaged even on the other side of the depot?
Yes, Mr. Mabee is going to repair the ones on the stage as well as the two that are on against the parking lot that sometimes work. So yes, he's repairing those.
Yes, and thank you for answering those questions. Let me graciously thank the Chamber for taking this project on for themselves. We own the grounds. We should be doing this, but we greatly appreciate their attention to this detail. I have shared in the frustration myself through many events down there, tree lightings and things of that nature, to find half the things not working. And then the fact that we're running miles of extension cords just to get to the other side. It's greatly needed, and we appreciate this offer.
Thank you.
Good. Any further questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And Casey, you have the next thing too. Board closure to so that a car show can be on June the 24th.
Correct. This is Brian Guy. He is with us tonight. If you have any questions for him, but this is just a normal. It's the large street closure map that we have.
We got to make a motion.
He's using it for his car show on the 24th of June. It's Saturday from 10 to 4.
Okay, and that's one of the already provided major closes that the board has
Yes.
approved in the past.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to start with to authorize Mabry's Electrical Service to add 12 receptacles on the depot grounds, as well as repairing existing receptacles, and also agree to allow the Andrew Chamber of Commerce to provide the funding. And
Okay. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you for pointing that out.
also like to make a motion that we approve the road closure request as shown on the large event map that was presented to us.
Okay. Any discussion on that?
Just a quick question. This is what has been done in the past, correct? This is exactly
Yes, sir.
a repeat of
November.
what existed already, and just wanted to clarify
Yes,
that
sir.
that was a repeat. Thank you.
And again, this is one of the standard road closure provisions that we approved previously. Not as to a particular thing, but a general.
And this date, I didn't check it. It's a Saturday, right?
Correct.
Great,
Right.
not a weekday. Double checking
Right.
its day.
Okay, is there a motion?
I made it.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. It's passed, all right? Thank you. Good. Okay. All right, Jimmy Cook.
Good evening, Board. Hope everybody's
About-
doing well tonight.
Junie Road Tank.
Yes, sir. As we discussed in the past about the Junior Road tank, we looked at tying that into the Bulldog fire system because we were having to basically turn the tank over because of chlorine residual issues. So we would have to flush it so often, and then so we went out and received bids for that project, and we actually sent it out to 6 contractors. And then when we received those bids back, we only received 2 bids, and I think you've got those numbers in front of you. And so after having internal discussions with the manager and staff, we'd make the recommendation that we reject these bids. It would actually be cheaper to continue doing the maintenance that we're doing now instead of doing that project.
Okay, is it still connected to?
It's still connected to our potable water system, yes, sir.
All right. So I take it when a new tank is built, this will go away?
When the new tank is put on, yes, sir, this tank will go away.
Okay. All right. Is there any reaction to that discussion?
No, because just for the public, Jimmy, for so they are aware too here, this is a huge amount of money to be doing what,
For a temporary fix.
Yeah, that and what you're requesting here seems to make total sense to me when I see the numbers here.
agree.
It's like, whoa.
Right. And we all know that the bids are coming in a lot larger than what our engineers'
Sure,
estimates are.
In general.
In general, right. So our engineer's estimate was, a lot lower than that. So that's why we entertained those bids. But then when it
Sure.
came back and, we want to be diligent with, the town's funds. So that was our recommendation. So.
Is there a motion to approve the staff recommendation?
I make the motion.
Okay, Kaz made the motion. Any further discussion? The motion is to reject all bids received. All in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, Richard, you want to present the next thing, and I can also add some information on it.
Okay, as you probably know, we are a member of the Triangle J Council of Governments. Over the years, they continue to add members, and I think they felt like their name was, I guess, more in tune with Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and they thought they should develop a name that was more, representative of the places they serve. So they did an in-depth review and a name change consideration, and it came up with a proposed name of the Central Pines Regional Council, and that has to be approved by most of the members. I don't remember what the exact number is, but they are asking all of the local governments to adopt a resolution ratifying, accepting, and approving the amended charter resolution of Central Pines Regional Council. So.
Okay. I think that pretty well states it. Does the council have any questions?
If we change it, we've all gotten so educated and learned to say TJ Cog.
Yes.
What are we going to call it?
I don't know.
Somebody's got to come up with an
Central
abbreviated
Pines,
name.
yes.
I guess CPR.
Yeah.
Just what we need.
Yes, okay. Any further discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve the amending of the charter?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion. I do hereby make a motion to adopt the resolution ratifying, accepting, and approving the amended charter resolution of Central Pines Regional Council, formerly Triangle J Council of Governments.
That said it all. Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please just raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. I represent you on that council, and I really appreciate the work that they do. Okay. Number 5 is a question of utility charges for 1074 East Wembley Street. Richard, if you'll present that, please.
Okay. The owners of this property, I think back sometime in the prior year in installed a larger water service to service this building back in December when it was really cold. Apparently their pipes froze and burst. They were not on the site, so it was several days before they discovered the leak, and of course they ended up with about a $3,500 utility bill. They have asked if the town would consider waiving a portion of those charges, which we have not done in the past. And I think one of the main reasons for that is we buy, our water from Harnett County. So if this water went through their meter, the town has to pay for that water. So we informed them that it has not been the town's policy to make adjustments on water bills. We do on sewer because they doesn't go through the meter and we don't buy that. So if it doesn't go to the wastewater plant, we're not paying for it. Let's see, we also offer them time to pay the bill. And they didn't like either option. And of course, they still wanted to make an appeal to the town board, and I told them they had every right to do so. And so that's the information before you, but it's staff's recommendation that you not make any adjustment to the bill because you've had to pay for the water.
Okay. Let's see. Who is speaking on behalf of the customer?
I don't think they have anybody here tonight. They just wanted it on the agenda. So.
Okay.
And they wrote you a letter.
Setting a precedent once you start paying fees.
Then we got to
I had a leak and I had to pay the full price. So.
Yeah. Same here.
Okay.
Some towns do, but some towns don't. But when they do, they've usually got their own water plan, so it's not as big of a.
Richard, assuming this bill that they have been billed for, is this taking into consideration that there was no sewer involved with that amount of water? How with this total, is it adjusted already, and that's what the bill is?
Yeah, I think
after
so.
Sewer adjustment has been made, because I know that is normally the case. That there's
Since sewer is a multiple of the water cost.
Yeah, they would be eligible for a sewer adjustment. I mean, I don't think it actually went through the sewer, but we can.
Well, but the sewer is a multiple of the water, so I would think that would be a legitimate adjustment.
So I agree.
Mr. Mayor, I feel like any relief on the charges would result in a direct reduction in town's revenues, and the town has already incurred expenses of the water already. So
my only question is this expense related to both water and sewer where the sewer was not used?
I mean, if they're eligible for a sewer adjustment, we will give them that because that's your policy already.
Right. That's what I'm
Whatever
saying.
we'll
That
do.
is our policy. So I was questioning if that
based
is the
on-
case, then that's okay. But no, we don't want to, we can't pay bills. We can't pay what we owe if we don't get the money to do it. But
So is there a motion that would take that into account?
I hereby make a motion to deny the request from the Mr. Garretti to provide relief for the pending charges at 1074 East Wembley Street.
But make an adjustment of the sewer charge, right?
Yeah.
I'd just say make any adjustments in accordance with your current policies.
Okay. Is that okay? All right.
yeah, because it is my assumption that is done. So that should be done if it has been done for others.
Okay. All in favor of this motion, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Okay. It's always unfortunate when a leak like that occurs. Man. Okay.
See, I'm not even showing sewer on the bill, so they may not even have sewer. It may
Well, you
just
do
be water.
that.
Yeah.
You would check that.
At any rate, it
I'm
apparently
looking at
would
the
have
bill
been
here, and I
taken
don't
care
see
of. Okay.
It doesn't take long. It's
Sewer.
amazing with even just a toilet filling itself completely with a flapper that's stuck in a room that you don't use. You would be amazed that in a month's time, you can get a $700 bill from
Yeah.
just a toilet running in the back end of your house that's running full time. Speaking from experience.
So if you hear something running, go check on it. Okay, all right. Next, we have a library consolidation report. As you know, the Harnett County has taken over the operation of our local library. Miss Angela McCauley is, let's see, the local director is here.
Jocelyn and our board member, Andrew's representative on the Library Board of Trustees, Elaine.
Okay. And be sure the clerk gets those names, if you'll repeat those, please. No, just from the microphone, that would be fine.
Jocelyn Williams and Elaine Blackman.
Okay. So how are things going?
It's going well. It's really going well. This has been a tremendous undertaking. If I had just consolidated one library, that would have been a challenge, but doing four at one time, I have not had a lot of sleep in about 8 months now. So, but it's getting better, and I'm very grateful that it happened, and I feel like we are starting to see the benefits of the consolidation, and I anticipate that we will continue to see those. So I just kind of wanted to just kind of give you a recap of where it started, not all the way back, but from the day of consolidation and what we've done up to this point, and then kind of talk a little bit about moving forward. So just to recap, in July of 22, the town of Angier and the county agreed upon and approved both a consolidation agreement and a lease agreement. The consolidation agreement, it defined the financial, property, and operational appropriations and supervision of the Harnett County Library System as a whole, as a group. And then, of course, the lease agreement outlined the respective rights, obligations, and duties of each party. So on August 1st, 2022, the consolidation became effective. All Angier Library employees who were town employees became county employees on that day. And every town library operations became county library operations. That was a big day. So the county's 22-23 budget for Angier was $250,277, which was slightly higher than Angier's previous budget the previous year of $243,133. On August 5th, just days after the consolidation, our library manager, Katie Warren, left her position to pursue a different career path. And so the Angier Library staff was confronted with an incredible amount of change in a very short period of time. And I cannot brag enough on the library and the Angier staff. They just took it in stride. They never complained. They were very professional, and they were determined to keep the library running in the midst of drastic changes and having lost their leader and having a new person that they hardly know and a new employer that they hardly know. So kudos to the Angier Library staff. They are amazing in so many ways. But we did post library manager's job as soon as we were allowed to do so. But as you all know, that does take time to get through the human resources track of posting and applications and interviews, and it goes on and on. So in the meantime, while that's happening, we would send some of our main library staff over to kind of fortify their staff when, they were short or around lunchtime when they needed a break. We started a new project. We installed some additional shelving. When we moved from the old library into the new library, we offered some of the shelving to all the branch libraries, and Angier took some of it in their storage.
In Lillington, you mean?
Yeah, did I say Angier?
You just said when we moved.
When we moved out of the Lillington, the old library in Lillington, to the new library in Lillington, some of the shelving went out to the different libraries, and Angier got some, and they had them in storage, and they wanted to put them up. So Harnett County Facilities and Maintenance came and installed them. Well, that involved taking all those books off the shelf, and it was an opportune time to weed. Do you know what weed means? Okay, weed means you get rid of the old stuff that's not circulating, and you make room for the good stuff and the pretty stuff that people want and can easily get to. So the staff, again, worked extremely hard, and they completed that project in record time. They got the shelves all up and everything back on them. We We were closed, I believe, one day throughout that whole thing. Everybody just worked around everything. So continuing on, after the weeding project, we boxed up all those books and we shipped them to Sustainable Shelves, which is a program through our book vendor that they give us purchasing credit to be able to buy books as they repurpose the old ones that we can't use anymore. So it's better than trashing them. And a lot of places don't take books like that anymore. I mean, even a thrift store will only take so many. So it's a good way of getting a little bit back for things that are discarded. So in the meantime, we worked with Town Finance, your Town Finance. I became good friends with Tabitha, and we worked on the bills, getting the utilities together. That was not easy, but we managed to come up with, she came up with an invoice of the prorated portion that the county's going to pay of the Duke Energy bill. We transferred the phone system over to the county. We secured a cleaning crew that comes a couple times a week. We installed a new copier, allowing the town to repurpose the one that was here to be used for another department. We installed cameras. And in the meantime, we began the interview process to fill the library manager's position. So what we did, we brought in several qualified candidates. We narrowed it down to 4, and then we brought in the Andrew Library staff to be an important, integral part of choosing their next leader. We wanted, they're the ones that are going to be working with this person, so we wanted them to be part of the hiring process, and they selected an excellent candidate who I'm going to introduce to you in just a few moments. So March of 23, 7 months into the consolidation, I sent an invoice to the town for the portion of year 1 of consolidation that was outlined in Article 4, Section A of the consolidation agreement. And that was that the town would pay 2/3 of the revised budget of $250,277,000. That portion was $166,277. And that check has been received. Thank you very much. I think you were the first ones to pay. Year 2, the town's portion will be 1/3 of that $250,000, which would be $83,417. And year 3, the following year, the contributions will be 0. So we're getting there. So March 23, I developed and presented the 23-24 budget for the town of Anger to County Administration and Finance. And on Monday, the county manager presented the 23-24 budget message and recommended budget to the Board of Commissioners, which included this year's budget for Anger for $274,287, which is about $23,510 more than we asked for last year. And crossing fingers it goes through. Library branch managers and library staff at the main library, we've been working on revising our policies. We had similar policies, but we weren't all doing things the right way. But now we're a system, we need to all do the same things. So that goes before our Library Board of Trustees next Wednesday. And if approved there, it'll go before the Board of Commissioners for a vote, and we'll have a whole new set of library policies for our new system. We're working with a vendor to develop a Harnett County Library System logo, which will incorporate all the towns that are in our system now. We want each one of them to be represented in some way. We haven't seen any renderings yet, but I'm really excited about that. And we are planning to begin a new strategic planning period this fall to develop a 20 through 29 master plan. So it's a 5-year plan. Ours is up in 23, so it's time to get started. And what couldn't be a better time now that we're a completely new system. Our old master plan was one library with a couple of small branches, and now we're all one. So I'm really excited about what that master plan is going to show. And it's interesting because in that first master plan, the recommendation was that we consolidate our library system. So we get to check that off. So that's really exciting. We are also looking to hire a community engagement coordinator to serve all public libraries to help us be able to get our social media all consistent and sort of consolidated. We want each library to still be able to do the things that they want to do and be creative, but we also need someone to help manage and keep it consistent. So we're looking to hire someone probably in the next couple of months. And we're exploring the possibility of creating an adult outreach position that will possibly bring more adult programming into all the communities. So that's where we've been, where we are, and somewhat where we're going. So you're probably wondering, so how has this impacted the town of Anger or the Anger Library? How have we changed since consolidation? Well, when I spoke to you last summer, I explained that consolidation would affect each of the libraries a little differently because each had different needs. And I explained that some libraries were severely underfunded and understaffed. So when they were brought into consolidation, even though their budget was much smaller than what Anger's budget was going to be, it was much higher than what their current budget was. So these librarians who could not even, take a day off or go to the bathroom without putting a sign on the door, suddenly have staff to help, and they can do more programming, and they're opening their doors later at night and opening on Saturdays, things that they've never been able to do. So those smaller libraries see a huge difference. This library, we anticipated that it was going to stay pretty steady and probably gradually go up because you funded your library well and you staffed it well. There's really not all that much you can do. We can always shoot for more and better. We're always going to do that. But we weren't looking to see a stark change in your statistics in terms of your service measures, your door counts, your circulation, and your programs. And I have a chart that you can see. It's by quarter. It takes a minute to look at it to kind of get your eyes on it. So it's done by quarters, and it's quarter 1, 2, and 3. We did not add 4 because we're not into quarter 4 for this year. So we wanted to just give you some comparative statistics for quarters 1 through 3 in 20, 21, and 22, and this being year 22. So you can see they've been up and down, and you also have to consider now COVID was in there too. Mm-hmm. So, I think everyone's statistics are going to be a little squirrely for a couple of years, and it's really hard to see or to measure growth when you have such a drastic thing going on in the world. Okay. So, moving forward, I will tell you every librarian has a stump that they stand on that they feel passionate about in library services. Some's local history, some may be reference, but mine is literacy, early literacy, and it has always been that way. I was a children's librarian for most of my career, and that's where my heart is. And so I want to talk to you about something. Just give me just a moment. 90% of a child's brain develops before they're 5 years old, 90%. Scientific research has made clear that the quality of a child's experience in the first few years of his life helps his brain develop, and these experiences have lasting impacts on their health and their ability to learn and succeed in school and life. Preschool story times at a library can play a valuable role in preparing children for kindergarten in a variety of ways. There are a lot of children that don't have daycare. They don't go to daycares, they don't go to pre-K, and they're home with mom. And the library is their way to interact and to develop their early literacy skills through recognizing letters, identifying rhyming words, and understanding story structure through a storyteller. Storytime builds social skills, allows children and adults to interact in a structured setting, and it fosters a love of reading in children, and it introduces them to the library. Another study of children in 3rd to 5th grades shows that students lost an average of about 20% of their school gains in reading during summer break. Research confirms that children who participate in summer library programs better retain their reading skills they gain during the school year, and oftentimes even improve their reading level. So I had to say that because in light of the recent developments of the repurposing of this room, this is going to really impact what the library can do for your community. It's going to impact story time. It's going to impact your summer programs. We're not going to have a great place. And we are grateful that you offer the depot, and we will more than likely take you up on that offer. We're very grateful for that. But that robs people of the convenience of being able to come to a library program and then just go across here and get books. You've got moms and strollers. They're not going to get their kids in and out of the car in the heat of the summer at the depot, then come over here and then get books, then back in the car. It really robs them of that convenience of being able to have like a one-stop shop experience of being in the library. And the fact that it's for 2 years really startles me, because that could have a lasting impact on the children coming through school, like the ones that will be in kindergarten in 2 years. Like, how is that going to impact them? And even, I'm grateful that at some point this room may be the entire library, like it could be the entire program room, but it's going to take time, even after that 2 years is up, to build that program back, because guess what's going to happen? Those people are probably going to go look somewhere else. They're going to go to Benson. They're going to go to Fuquay. Some are going to go to Lillington. They're going to look for somewhere to go for those who can afford the gas to get there. And I really hate to see that happen to the children in your community. And I just had to get that off my chest. I didn't know that was going to happen when I was invited to come and speak to you, but I thought, okay, I have an opportunity to at least just share my thoughts, even though it may not do any good at all. I wanted you to understand the implications of taking away this room from the library. So I will stop there and get off my stuff. So I want to introduce you to your new library director. In November, Jocelyn Williams was brought on as a library manager for the Andrew Public Library. Jocelyn earned a BS degree in communications from East Carolina University and a Master's of Library Science and Information from UNC Greensboro. She worked with the Cumberland County Public Library System for more than 8 years, and in 2017, she was awarded the NCLPDA Outstanding Adult Program Award. And a few months back, she was selected to present at the American Library Association Conference to be held in Chicago this June. And because we didn't plan for that and we didn't have funds for getting her to Chicago, she also applied for and was awarded a continuing education scholarship to cover all her traveling expenses. So she gets to go for free, and that's quite an honor to be able to present at a national conference. Jocelyn hit the ground running with an open mind and new ideas and abundance of enthusiasm. She and her staff have planned a summer chock full of educational, recreational, and cultural programs for children and adults. So at this time, Jocelyn will be sharing a little bit about the success of her recent programs, as well as a glimpse into what she has planned for the summer. So I will introduce you.
Hello, board.
Hello.
How are y'all doing? I don't get to see how many of you guys in the library unless you're coming over here. I see some of y'all at, we do try to do some of Casey's outreaches. I try to, we're gonna go down to Cinco de Mayo this week on Friday, because we like to try to make sure that the library's face is at the outreaches, because if they're not coming to the library, we like to take the library to them, because we want to get as many of Andrew's folks into the library. That's what my goal has been, to try to, if we can't, where I come from, if we can't bring the people to the library, we go reach them. So my goal since I've been here is to try to get as many of Andrew's people into the library to grow the branch. We've done that. Since I've been here, I've watched the numbers of our statistics and the books grow. I've tried to increase the book collections with diversity, with the different books. Got a little brain fog here. Expand the collection as far as for the readers, as well as the programming. So when I came back, the adult programming wasn't here, so I brought that back. When I went to see the seniors, I asked the seniors what they needed, and I brought back computer programs. I help seniors with Book of Librarians. So if a senior comes in and they have problems with their technology programs, they can come in and sit with me, and I'll help them fix that problem. Whatever it is they need, I'm here for them to help them with whatever they need. For the summer, we have already got our summer reading prizes ready to have an excellent summer program. We've got nice prizes for our adults. We've got nice prizes for our teens. And we're ready to put on a great summer program to promote reading as well as literacy. We have a lot of programs. I have the calendar here. I'll send it around for you guys. Going on for the whole summer. We have something going on every day in the library, both interactive for parents. You can pass that around for everybody. For the parents, for the kids. The whole theme is all together now, and it's about kindness, family, friends, and welcomeness. And so it's all about togetherness. Andrew is about togetherness and families and friends. I've enjoyed being here. And like Angela said, the staff was awesome when I got here. They were holding this library down. They welcomed me with open arms. I've done nothing but make the library more of a welcoming place. We got new computers. Everybody that's been here, I got some comment cards. People love this library. I get phone calls where people are like, what are you guys doing over there? How can I get a library card? I like this library. I have people that come to the programs all the way from Smithfield and Benson. Last night, I had over 28 people in here for a program, and we were all making wreaths. When's the next program? So, I mean, they enjoy this library, and it was only an hour, but people enjoy here. And then afterwards, they want to get books. So you bring them into the library, and then you teach them how to read. So that's what we want to do. And I want to just keep doing it for you guys. Any questions? I try. Well, I left it open for you. Do you see?
I always pick that about a party.
All right, thank you.
Once again, because you mentioned, and this is a great time because we have lots of people that do watch our streaming program that get a chance to hear about things that they may not know that are going on.
Right.
And I'm assuming all they need to do is stop by the library or give you a call, but that you have opened up these new programs for seniors
Right.
to help them technically step up in the world and not feel so intimidated about some simple things that you can give them some guidance in.
Oh, yeah.
And, as you said, those, when did most of those, is it a one-on-one? Is it a special meeting or group time that you do that in?
On every third Monday, I have tech classes.
Every third Monday.
Every third Monday, I have tech classes.
Jerry-
The next tech class is going to be Canva. So if they want to learn anything about Canva, how to do any graphic
Graphics.
designs, they can come up here and sign up for that. But if they have a problem with anything, they can walk in and I can help them, or they can call and schedule a 45-minute session with me. And I'm glad to help them with anything from how to fix their cell phone, how to work on a Word document. I've helped one lady with her Christian flyer for church, whatever it is. I'm pretty well versed with anything technology. That's my heartstring. I've helped seniors for a long time.
Because it can be intimidating, and it's great to know that you're offering that as well.
Yes. And I mean, seniors are my heartstring. I have helped my grandmother for a long time.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
All right.
Ms. Williams heard one of your prior presentations. I appreciate you being here and your leadership. And Ms. McCauley, thank you so much for doing a great job next door for us.
Yeah, and there's one more thing. I also applied for a grant, and hopefully, and I did this also for the seniors over there. Hopefully, we're hoping that grant goes through, because if that grant goes through, I'll be getting 5 hotspots. That way, we can get some internet for the senior center.
Good. Yay. That answers the prayer. Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, and I always want you to know that if you ever have a question about the way any of our libraries are running or in Harnett County, please pick up the phone and call me or send me an email. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate you. I don't think she did. I think she was just here for support. Did you want to say anything, Elaine?
I will say that the transition has gone great, and we so appreciate the fact that we have a manager that's experienced in a wide variety of things, and I think it's made a difference in our ability to respond to different groups of people. So we got a lot we still need to do, but we're working on it.
Good.
Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
It's a real resource for the town of Anger. Okay. All right. Number 7, Richard Hicks, you going to present that?
Yes, you have a copy of the proposed agreement next year for Bill Drexler, who is the town's engineer, has been for several years. You do this on an annual basis, so we're just asking that you approve the contract for FY 23-24.
Appears to be essentially the same as before.
Yep. And
Wow.
Bill does a
Okay.
good job for us.
Is there a motion? Okay. Any other questions?
You've done stormwater too, and you, Bill.
Right. Right. Is there a motion? The engineering retainer agreement. Okay. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. It is unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for the work you do. Okay. All right. Check that one off. Okay. Veronica.
Yes. I wanted to.
Address, please.
Address, please.
Yeah.
As you know, we have our community development committee that Casey oversees. On that committee, we have 9 members. Right now, there are unfortunately 2 members that haven't participated or attended a meeting since September of 2022. Some of those meetings were canceled by the chair. However, they haven't come to the meeting at all to date this year. I understand that things come up unexpectedly, but attendance is very important, especially when you're trying to make sure that there's a quorum in order to conduct town business. The last meeting, they were not April, but in March, they were not able to have that meeting because there was not a quorum that night. So we're just, Casey and I are basically coming to the board to see if we can get those 2 members removed from the board, because we do have some applicants that are interested in being active members. Yes, sir. I've notified them by mail and email. No response.
I'm afraid you're going to have to identify them so that we can take
Sure.
action.
Sam Nelson and Tyja Johnson.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion as to Mr. Nelson and Johnson?
Well, we know that we cannot run and do business without people contributing to the work, and certainly that is a good reason here with this. And I do make hopefully we can find people that are more dedicated to the service, and so I do make the motion that we remove these 2 people from the.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Coates. Any discussion on that? Okay. The motion's before you. All in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Okay, so then, Veronica, I understand in anticipation of this that you received applications from other people.
That's
Would you tell
correct.
us about that, please?
To follow up with the 2 board members that were removed, I did receive 2 applications. I do have an applicant in the audience tonight who has been very anxious to join Casey. She's actually she's actually come to a couple of meetings the last couple of months. However, one of the applicants, Mr. Chris Dunaway, I was notified today that he had soccer obligations, coaching obligations, and is not able to.
It says Donovan in the
Donovan. Okay.
minutes.
Okay. He is not able to, as he is coaching soccer. But I'm sure that we can come up with another applicant. But Miss Jillian Knowles is in attendance tonight, and she is very interested.
All right. Without objection, we'll hear from Ms. Knowles. Ms. Knowles, would you like to? Yes. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I feel like I can represent a lot of people in our community that we are here in Angier. I'm a mom. My husband is in the military, which is why I'm late tonight, because the military gives orders and we all have to obey. So I have 2 children, a 4 and a 7-year-old, who are over at the soccer field actually playing t-ball tonight. We had karate with Sam Shelton. So we are pretty active in the community. I am a business owner here as well and a member of the chamber. Just met. So sorry about that. But yeah, I feel like I can represent a really large number of people here in the community, and I hope I can speak for all of them being here.
Okay. And
I did, yes. I actually have a degree in Parks and Rec. I always joked that I wanted to do the things in life that you don't get paid for, all the extracurricular activities. So here I am. Hey.
Punch in, Alan. And I see that also includes, you wrote down tourism management?
Yes, recreational park and tourism management. So I actually didn't want to graduate, so I added on another side to that degree there in managing national parks as well. So kind of did it all. Mm-hmm.
okay, so you say managing national parks.
Yeah, we went to a few national parks and learned how to manage their paths so people don't walk through the landscaping and such, which is funny now because when I see kids do it at the park and everything, I'm like, stop walking through there. Don't feed the ducks. Stop feeding the
Right.
kids. Yeah, I'm kind of a stickler for that kind of stuff.
I just told my board a week or so ago that I served 3 summers as a National Park Service ranger down at Cape Hatteras and at national headquarters in Washington. So
that's
I
fun.
really appreciate the park system.
If I didn't meet my husband at my internship with the Morale, Wellbeing, and Recreation, I probably would have followed in your footsteps. I was very disappointed I got North Carolina instead of Alaska. So 12 years later, though.
There you go.
Yes.
Any questions from the board?
And as I think Veronica just said, you have actually attended a few of these meetings already?
I have.
Well,
That's a plus.
wow, girl.
Check.
They'll all tell you. It's my big first question to anybody that walks up to this podium. Do you know what you're interested in doing, and have you been to a meeting to maybe see if you could make an input? So,
Well, I
wow.
actually had emailed Casey saying, hey, I really want to know about what's going on in the town because that's kind of just who I am. Everyone always comes to me because they want to know what's going on. And I was like, I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't know about and I need to know. Like, I want to know what communities are coming. I want to know about the 55 being widened so I can just tell everyone. And she was like, well, I have an opening. Why don't you come? And I was like, well, that's not what I wanted. But you know what? That actually, I think, is what I needed. So
terrific.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know Shep?
We just met, which is why I wasn't paying attention. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Any further questions? I take it we can delay the other appointment until one of our next meetings. And is there a motion regarding this applicant?
Oh, I make a motion that we put Jillian Knowles
Definitely.
Thank you.
on this committee.
Right on. Okay. I don't get to vote, but
okay. Thank you.
all in favor of that motion, please raise your right hand. Okay, it's unanimous. Okay. But I would have voted too if I had a chance. Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, I think maybe since we just we had the removal of 2 here, that we, given the fact that our other candidate is not here tonight, that we put out another option that there is still yet another seat.
Okay, without
be
objection,
had.
Madam Clerk, if you'll do that. Okay. All right. Jimmy Cook, need to widen the street. And I relate to that. I go to the Methodist Church on Wilma Street, so for whatever that matters.
So staff was asked to investigate the width of South Wilma Street from MacGyver down to Catherine's Retreat. And when we looked at that, it was approximately 18 feet wide. Your usual standard street is around 21 feet. So what we're proposing here is to mill both sides of the road and widen it an additional 4 feet, 2 feet on either side. So it's a little tight when you go through there and you're meeting oncoming traffic.
Given the development that's going back there.
Correct. Well, we've got several developments, yes, sir. So Catherine's Retreat is finishing up, and then Tanglewood 3 will be starting here shortly.
And maybe even a new park.
And maybe a new park, yes, sir.
Jimmy, is there curb and gutter on the right side?
There's a short section on the second entrance at Woodcroft. We did that as part of our POW bill funds. So Tanglewood 1 had curb and gutter in front of their phase. The next 2 houses down with Mr. Johnson owned, because they were not considered a subdivision. Were not required. So after talk with the manager, we took some of our POW bill funds and we finished that little short section of sidewalk there. When Tanglewood 3 goes in, they'll be putting sidewalk along Wilma Street and down along Campbell Street as well. So those will be tying in together.
Up to where there was a low place.
Sir? So what we're going to do is we're not going to widen in front of Tanglewood 3 because that's part of the developer's requirement. So they'll actually widen it to match what we're putting in. So we won't do that little section in there just along that section of Tanglewood. So.
Okay.
And then and if the board authorize us to go ahead and proceed with it, we'll notify the property owners because they'll come through with a milling machine. So the may mill a little bit of their concrete asphalts and just tie everything back in, relocate their mailboxes back a little bit while we're doing the construction.
Is this still within the right of way?
Yes, sir. Everything's
Okay.
still within the right of way.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All right. If not, is there a motion? Using power bill funds, an amount of $30,000. Okay.
Yes.
Any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor?
Let me just say something so I don't get accused of it later.
Uh-oh.
I was waiting.
You're on the other side of
No,
Wilma.
it'll come back and bite me, and I'm just gonna, because I don't want that to happen. Yes, I live on Wilma Street and have all of my life, but this is certainly, we're using Powell bill funds to do it.
It's another section of Wilma Street.
Another section down from me, but it is desperately needed. It is the most narrow street in the town of Angier, and the construction that's going on down there, even the people came en masse and spoke of this issue. So we had about at least 20 people in this room asking that be done. So I want to make it clear, yes, I live on Wilma Street. This will not financially impact me in any way. So yes, I will be voting.
Okay. Anything further? All in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
get going.
Thank you.
And if I were to ask a question of anyone, Mr. Mayor, when would I do that? It's not related to that. It's another question. If somebody could just tell me when and where I would point it, I would like to mention at this moment how we go about. There is not one speed limit sign on the entire Wilma Street, and people coming off of that MacIver, heading the runway strip down to Catherine's Retreat, it's a speed zone, even in that narrow road, but is there any way that we could get, I think it's 25 everywhere else, but that is a residential area.
Got one there. We've already got one. As soon as you pass Miss Price's house, there's one right there between Coley's house.
Okay. Okay.
There's a 25.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll refer that to the town manager and for further consideration then.
Is
No speed bumps.
Is that notice one way?
You're out of order.
Or
I'm
can
the
they see it
speed
coming
bump
back
there.
the other direction as well, Jimmy?
Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Great, because there's a lot going on. Would hate to see something wiped out by a delivery truck.
Okay, moving right along. Madam Clerk, we and Mr. Hicks, we were submitted. Let's see, we've got an ordinance to revise an approved voluntary annexation. Mr. Hicks, would you tell us about that?
Yes, sir. The board annexed this property back in October 4th of 2022. And the original annexation did not include the road, and to get DOT to control the speed limits on those roads, we like to annex both sides of the roads when you got subdivisions on both sides. So this is basically just an amendment to that map, including the road. As the other subdivision on the other side begins, they will also annex to the center of the road. Then DOT will then drop the speed limit through that area. What is it now? I'm not sure. Is it 55 still, Jimmy? Yeah.
And it's a dangerous part of the road, too. There's a lot of accidents.
Okay, so all we're doing is
Just
amending
fixing what should
the
have been annexed
annexation
to start with. So.
Yeah. Okay. Further discussion, or is there a motion?
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we
Approve the
approve
amendment.
the amendment.
A001-2023. Okay. Now, is there further discussion? Yes. Okay. All right. All in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. All right. Thank you. Okay. Then we have a request. Okay, Madam Clerk, you looked into voluntary annexation submitted by G&J Development for 28.35 acres at 5963 NC 210 in Anger. And take it, you've done the sufficiency, and we need to set a date for a public hearing.
That's correct.
And
The public hearing is June 6th.
June the 6th, okay? This is fairly straightforward, but are there any questions? If not, is there a motion to fix the date for the annexation public hearing on R010-2023 for G&J Development for June the 6th of this year?
That we set that date for that hearing.
Okay, Alan, any discussion?
Mayor, I would just make a point that this is all the way out at the North Harnett School Road, so it's a pretty substantial distance outside of town. So when you have your public hearing to make your decision, you just need to be aware of the distance and what may be involved.
Okay. Anything further? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. And, okay, none opposed. All right. Thank you. It's approved. Okay. Then resolution R011-2023, again, fixing a date for a public hearing on a request for voluntary annexation submitted by CBD-MMP JV LLC for about 40 acres located off Matthew Mills Pond Road in Angier. Is there a motion? This is just to set the date of the public hearing.
Yeah.
And that would be June the 6th as well? Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Okay. Down to the town managers, or up to the town managers report.
I guess the only thing I've got to report, we just started working diligently on next year's budget. We're still waiting on our quotes for employee health insurance. We hope to have those next week. That is a major portion of the budget, major cost to the town. We are also still waiting on our property coverage quote for this year. And again, that's a pretty substantial cost. Yeah, so we want to make sure we have that information, but hopefully by the second or third week in May, we should have you something.
Okay. All right. Any of the departments want to give an oral report? Public Works, Police, or Parks and Recreation? Okay. Do you have any questions of Jimmy?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Let's see. That's Public Works. Police Department, y'all doing okay? Okay. You want to say that again so that everybody can hear it? National Day of Prayer, Town Square at what time? Noon. All right.
Yes, so anybody online watching, mark your calendars if you can be there for that.
Right. Okay. Any other reports from managers?
Mr. Mayor, I know Derek's not here tonight, but I would like to read something real quick, acknowledge someone. I would like to say thanks to Commissioner Alan Coates for donating a new butterfly and 2 dragonflies metal art pieces that have been installed at the restroom building in the entrance playground area. Derek said thank you to Commissioner Coates for your generous donation.
Let's give him a hand.
I'm just a kid at heart. Hey.
All right.
Mayor, I was just going to mention Derek's, a couple of his coaches coach, I believe, high school soccer maybe or baseball, but they won their tournament.
Oh, cool.
So they are going into the next round. So Derek is coaching this evening.
All right.
But he does want to extend an invitation to the board if you get a chance to go by the park this Thursday evening. It will probably be one of the busiest days of the year. And I think that would give you a good view of what they're up against.
Okay.
So,
all right. Assuming
Thursday
we could get in
he does
there.
want you to come by if you can, just to see what's involved.
All right. Any reports from the town board?
Mr. Mayor Casey, reading your report here, can you elaborate a little bit? And I don't know if we can or not, but it looks like we might be getting a new pizza place here in Andrew.
Fingers crossed, yes. This gentleman is looking for his third location. He has one in Nightdale and Wake Forest, Pizza Amore. And he has looked at the house, the 2-story white house that's down on Broad Street.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that'll work out.
And the 2 grants you're working on, environmental enhancement grant, what is that about?
That one is for the park.
For the
So
park.
it's to do the landscaping around the water itself, the pound itself, as well as the wetland.
What about the rural
That one
transformation?
I finished today. That one will be for the paving that we're doing behind Thanks a Latte, that area there.
Okay. And do you have any idea about the steakhouse when they're going to open?
What I've been told, I'm so excited about this, what I've been told is late summer. So maybe
Okay.
August, September. He's very excited and he's very thrilled about all the support he's already got. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mr. Town Manager, do you want to say anything about planning position?
Yes, we do have somebody hired, Mr. Jeff Jones, who spent numerous years in Holly Springs during their significant growth spurt. He also spent some time in Pittsburgh, and I went to work for a private company that was consecutive. That was eventually sold to a national firm and everything. So he had a strong interest in getting back into local government, which he's got, I think, like 22 years of experience, and he actually starts Monday.
Okay.
So, and we need him
Excellent.
desperately right now. We're
Excellent.
telling people, time and time again, we don't know the answer, but I will have it to you next week.
We've got some other news, but we're not quite ready to reveal it yet. So.
Mr. Mayor, 2 things. I like, number one, have it strict from the record that Mr. Mayor was joking a while ago when he pounded me down for out of order. That was a joke.
I withdraw the podium.
And number 2, Mr. Mayor, I would like to ask for the board to give direction to our town attorney to draft the letter in regards to our second public comment tonight. We have had our meeting. We have decided on what we're going to do, and I think it's only fair that he gets a letter stating what our findings were. Since I am on the ABC board, I would direct our attorney. We have an attorney on staff to also tell you what we've decided to do on that deal. I think, again, it's only fair that you know. But we have met on it. So I just don't want you to think we're not doing anything. Okay?
Okay, you're talking about the ABC board, or you?
Well, we met here too.
Okay.
We made our hand draft letter for that, and then the ABC board we met separately on that because our board recommended it go to the ABC board. So we met on that, and our attorney recommended on that.
Okay. Without objection. Okay, Dan.
He wants an answer to the letter that he wants to be notified of what our response was.
Okay, I understand. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, anything else from the board or from the mayor?
Do you have anything?
I'm glad to see Shelby here tonight.
Yay. We appreciate all the work you do. You hold that place together. You're the glue. Okay. Right on. Okay. Good. So that's why you're doing such a good job. Okay, just checking. All right. All right. We're down to where we need a motion to go into closed session. Pursuant to General Statute Chapter 143-31811A 5 and A6 to discuss property and personnel.
I make a motion that we go into closed session.
The motion has been made. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay. We will take a 5-minute recess and then go in.